Mm,
Mm, mm,
mm. Yeah, I can't
mm.
help it. I be riding off of our our
Yeah, I
intros.
like it.
I like it a lot too. Hey, Doc, happy Thursday to you.
Happy Thursday. We made
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Almost
yeah.
Friday.
It is. It is. It is. It's on its way. So,
Yeah.
hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Perspective on this beautiful Thursday. And I am Eric Butler, aka the Intellect, aka Cullinan 8, because I'm the biggest diamond ever found on land, aka the Atlantic, because I'm cold, deep, and choppy, and it ain't nothing nobody can do about it. I'm a talent acquisition consultant, so I've been in the recruiting space for over about 2 decades now. I do a lot of consulting. I'm on my way to that because I get enough bread to make that happen. But I'm out in the community, and I support the Empower Series, which is a nonprofit organization that is focused on financial literacy. And so, if I'm going to implore you, hey, take a moment, go out to www.theempowerseries.com, check out the website, go on YouTube, check out our YouTube page, and definitely look at what we have coming on. I'll talk about it a little bit more on our Facebook page. Other than that, man, I'm just a man. I'm here and just happy to be with y'all here on this beautiful Thursday. I'm going to pass the mic over to my irreplaceable, unmatched, one of a kind, sharp on the edges, cut you both ways co host, and let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is LaToya, aka Them Kids Mama, aka Chef Jeff's wife. I am a licensed professional counselor, author, speaker. And I also have a solo podcast. It's only audio though, and it's on Spotify, Apple, Google, all the places. It is called Say More About That. Y'all should really go check it out. Like, that's where I really get in my mental health bag, and I'm just giving tips on like wellness and boundaries and change and stuff like that. So that's where you can find me. Um, oh, Chef Jeff has a show also on the BS3 network. The name of his show is This Dope Cooking Show. It comes on Tuesdays at 5:30.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep. I was on there
Yeah.
this last episode. He made marry me chicken. I'd marry him again with that chicken.
Yeah, he proposed to. He said, "Will you marry me?" And she was like, "He said again." And she was like, "Absolutely," as she wiped the corners of her mouth. So I watched it. I loved it, and man, I'm gonna be on. I'm gonna be on. He gave me the secret sauce. No pun intended. I lied. It was a pun. But with that being said, we have a show for you tonight. We got a conversation about the title of it is this episode is was it worth it? Value versus cost. And before we get too deep into it, and Doc, I do have a video that may kind of help, kind of
Yeah.
jump it off just some conversation. But let's get to the comments. Ben Sutter the third says you can support BS3 Network by sending stars. Stars help us earn money to continue building the network. Thank you. And if you don't recognize it, Ben Sutter the third puts the BS3 in the BS3 network. It is definitely a network worth supporting, following. Definitely take an opportunity to go out, check out, go like, subscribe, and share the network, please. It's a great help, and it doesn't take a lot of effort. So I just implore you to do that. We have the type of viewers and followers that would do so, and to check out some of the other programming that's on there. You will find that it's valuable and worthy of your support. So, with that being said, was it worth it, Doc? Value
Was
versus
it
cost.
worth it? Hold on. So before you play the video, let me do my disclaimer.
Mhm.
I am a therapist, not your therapist, unless we have paperwork and a payment form in place. Okay. Eric and I will be talking from our education, things we've heard, our life experiences. We are not necessarily talking about our current life situation. Okay. Don't get on here talking about Toya said no, because I was just sharing a perspective, not necessarily my current life perspective. Okay. And we also know that your sister's cousin, homegirl, was in the same situation and it worked out well for her and it was worth the cost and it was worth the value. And we are happy for her and we love her, but we're not talking about her. Okay.
Not talking about her.
Let's get into it.
Yes, yes. So, Doc, I'm going to play this video, and it's just going to kind of refer to this concept. And I'm going to lead in by saying, when we're talking about is it worth it and value versus cost, just
Mhm.
the top mind thought on that when we got the subject was, and this was broached to me, is about our position on what we're judging. We're judging of who when we're looking for a potential mate in the dating space, when what's valuable and the cost that you end up paying, or the cost that you're willing to pay, or what should be the cost that you pay in that regard. So on the short and skinny, are we looking at the right things? Are we asking the right questions? Um,
Most people aren't.
yes, and is that why we're getting? So this video kind of speaks to it a little bit, and so I'm going to play that, then we can get back to the conversation.
How do I find the right person when I'm dating? How do I find the person who's right for me when I'm dating? I got the question like 3 times in a row, and I thought, because I always think this, what about that question? What's wrong with that question? Something wrong with that question. How about, how do I conduct myself so that I am the best possible partner? Now that's a whole different, right? That's a whole different conceptual universe, and virtually no one ever asked that question. And I would say, well, if you want an answer to the first question, which is how do I find the person who's right for me, you actually start by asking the second question, which is what can I bring to the table for someone else? And if you're really good at bringing something to the table for someone else, hey man, people might be lining up to be your partner. And if they're not, then you might think, well, maybe I'm just not bringing the right thing to the table. And that's worth thinking, especially if you're desperate, you're lost, and you're alone. It's like, maybe I got this wrong.
Love it.
There we go. There we
Love
go.
it.
So, Doc, any
That's cool.
immediate thoughts on that?
I think he's absolutely correct. I think we're always looking for what do I need to do to attract the right person? But we never really think about who we need to be to attract the right person. I'm gonna use it like just a generic example that everybody can relate to. So if you say, I want a man that got abs, you probably want to be sis that go to the gym. Now you don't have to have abs, but you at least have to be active, because people who have abs eat well and they are active. So when we're like, I want this, I want this, I want this, and we're laying out like a menu of what it is we want from a person, we're never really looking at like, what do I need to do or be to get this menu? So I thought Buddy was right on. I thought he was dead on it.
Yes, I thought so too. When that was shared, and Jordan Peterson, I believe is his name, and I've seen some other things, and I like him because he's thought provoking. I like pointed conversation. I put things out there, and a lot of times it goes against conventional or what societal's norms right now as far as conversation. And I thought that was very interesting, him speaking on that, because he said, I got the question like 3 times in a row about how to do so. And then the thing he did was like, are you asking the right question? As Doc just said. So and as Doc told y'all, she's a licensed therapist. So I know that would resonate with her, and it did. So I love it, because it's probably her practice in what she does. So Doc, before we get started, some of the questions that we want to formulate and go across first is really one of the things that I love my co-host taught me. She was, we need to have the definitions of some of the things that we're talking
because
about.
we have to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I guess if we talking about oranges and you talking about grapefruits, that's not gonna work.
Right. We like, wait a minute, but what's happening about what? I thought it was red, but we were talking about fruit, but we didn't talk about which fruit. So Doc be clearing it up. So we're talking about value versus cost. And I think coming to a determination on really what's valuable. And this is called perspective. And I normally do this at the top of the show, and I'm just trying to streamline it. But when we talk about perspective, you're going to have different opinions, different views, different lived experiences. And it doesn't mean that because you have one that differs from someone else, it just simply means that they're different. Doesn't mean you're right or wrong. They're right or wrong. They're just different. So we want to evoke that thought, and we want to bring that to the forefront. So when we're talking about this, let's define value. So, Doc, do you have a particular definition? And I'm gonna share a definition because that's a part of having different perspectives on it.
When I think of value, I think of usefulness, and I think of like worth or importance. Those are the words that like, and it's how you regard something. Like, how useful do I think this is? How important do I think this is? That's what comes to mind when I think about value.
Absolutely. And I know, of course, right off top, when we talk about value, and it's a deeper thing, because I think when people think about value they always think about a monetary standpoint, the monetary worth of it. So like the economic concept, it refers to like monetary or market worth of something, be it goods, services, or assets. But in this case, we're talking about people. And then there are certain factors that determine that, in money, it's supply and demand, economics 101, high, if it's in high demand and low supply, the price is very high. If it's plentiful and it has low demand, then the price is going to be pretty low. You can get it for free. That's what be ending up on clearance racks, which came up on is it Wednesday yet? On the podcast that I was on yesterday. It's on Wednesdays at 8:30. But we're talking more, I'm thinking more along the lines of personal, not personal importance, but personal as far as people. So, and then on a personal level, value can be subjective, and it may involve the significance or importance that individuals place on something, including themselves. And that can include, their beliefs, their principles, their emotional connections, their emotional intelligence, their intellectual prowess, things of that nature. And even their value from a monetary standpoint, where they may be. And then how useful something is when you use it. Does it have a value? Does it bring value to you and what you're trying to accomplish? And then we got, and then value as far as your ethics, your morals, cultural, societal significance, things of that nature. So value goes very, very deep. And I think all of those can be attributed to when you're looking for a mate and defining value for yourself.
I agree with you. I think that we don't place enough value on our values. I think that a lot of times when people are selecting their mate, they're looking at superficial things, especially when you're younger. I think when you get a little bit older and you got a little more experience under your belt, your what you're looking for changes. But I think we're not going deep enough in the dating stage. We're not walking away when things don't suit us. We're not walking away when things aren't aligned as far as values. And I think that's the issue.
Yeah. So because right now, where would you say the state of value is, let's say in the general population, in the pursuit of how they're judging, how people are selecting significant others? So in the dating space, what would you say the state of value? Where does it lie right now?
Money.
Said that plain.
Value, because everybody's like, what can you do for me? What do you bring to the table? I hate the table. I understand that the table is valid. I understand the table is needed. And yes, we need to be entering into relationships when we can make people better. And I also think that relationships need to be mutually beneficial. But I just hate the table. Oh my God. Don't ask me what I'm bringing to the table. Like, I hate that.
Well, let's get into it, Doc, because I'm going to say the table is very important.
I said it was important. I said that. I just hate it.
Then why we don't like that? I think it's the people who say it and the intent behind what they say, because I think something can be said and it's the way that it's said and delivered. And I'm big.
Nasty.
Yeah, I'm big on intention. What was your intentions with what you said? What's your intentions? What are you really trying to do? Because some people trying to trick you, some people being slick, some people talking, fast. They don't have good intentions. But if you're coming from a pure place, and it may be a harsh question, maybe a harsh statement or observation or critique, but if it's coming from a good place, then I can go ahead and I can ride out with it. You know what I mean? So when they say what you bring into the table, I think that has to be discussed. And I think
Okay, hold on before we discuss.
Go ahead.
Hit the comments.
Oh, let's do that. Facebook user says, "Hey Doc, hey Eric, Miss Lynn again at work. Hey Miss Lynn, how you doing?
Hey, Miss Lynn. At this
Oh yeah,
point,
yeah,
Lynn is working.
we got wisdom in the building. Here, hey, Mr. Jeff, that's my BFF. I'm just gonna go and say
my
it.
man. Because I feel like when I don't say that, you feel away. You
Gave
like
me the rest.
usually say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get a.
Be like, Lord.
Indeed. Facebook user says, "My most valuable friends are not the most educated, nor the wealthiest, but they 100.
I love
If
that.
I need them for anything, if they have to hitchhike or steal a bike, they coming. My mate too needs to be my friend. People looking for money and status.
Yep.
I need to know my mate gonna hand me my cane and help me find my teeth. Change my depend if I can't. That's what's up. That is what's up.
Heavy on the help me find my teeth and change my depend. That's why I say when you get
What's up,
older,
Class?
you start looking for different things.
Say that again, Doc. I'm sorry.
I think when you get older, you're looking for different things. Like you're looking for, can you help me find my teeth type of thing? Like, do you know the symptoms of a heart attack? So like if I start having a heart attack, are you gonna know to call 911, right? Like things like that.
Now see, I'm gonna say this. That thought you just said is spot on. We need to have the younger generations, those who are still dating, those who are single. When you're looking for someone, you need to be thinking of those things. Do they have the character, which is, I'm bringing it out now. Do they have the character, the moral, fortitude, the mental mindset that they think in that way? They're thinking long term. I think that's more valuable than the money, so to speak. Now let me say this and make a blanket statement. I'm going to say that it's going to sound like I'm anti-cash. Me and broke up a long time ago. We got into it. It didn't work out. We weren't on the same page. And so me and Broke don't even fool around. We don't talk, no nothing. And if I see Broke in the street, it's on sight. So that's how I feel about Broke. Okay. Me and money, financial stability, cash, Dutch mark, yen, pesos, we all get along. So I need that to be understood. Do I think, now I'm speaking from a man's standpoint, should a man be employed? Should he be providing? Should he be able to give you shelter, protection? Yes, and yes. But this is what I'm saying. He can do that, but if he doesn't have any other, if his character is tainted, if he can't honor you, if he can't protect you, if he can't provide, I would say problem solving, if he can't give you a certain level of push, if he can't be a prophet, pray over you, prophesy for you, if he can't be a champion of yours, then that might be something you need to look into. If he doesn't if he doesn't find value in your essence of who you are, the insight that you may bring, the nurturing that you provide, then we might need to look at him. I think his value may drop and he could be a millionaire or a billionaire. And if he doesn't have those things, then I think he's still poor.
I think you're thinking on a level of consciousness and a level of awareness that most people are not.
Well, we need to get him there, Doc. That's why we
I'm
here. And I think that you can help him.
I do every day. When there is a what? Paperwork and payment method.
There was a Facebook user said, "Hey class, what's going on, class? It got to be a select few. I know where they from and who they are and what generation they in, but I don't know who that is. But man, shouts out to you. Much love and thank you for being here. Definitely share your insights." Facebook user says, "Why wait for older? Grow together into that." Exactly. Agreed. Indeed. As I was stating. Oh, that's Raquel, class. What's going on? It's going to get good, y'all. Stay, class. Say something. I know you're going to say something. But anyway, now we were talking about value, and I think we got a good concept of that. And Doc says she hates the statement, What do you bring to the table?
I do.
I think the state, you know what, Doc, this is our assignment. I know I'm saying our assignment, but it's probably me because you like, don't, I got plenty to do. I'm saving the world one person at a time right now.
Okay.
But what would you say is an alternative statement and a proper question to ask to evaluate if someone is equally enough yoked to be an asset and not a liability in your life? Can I say that?
I love asset, not a liability. So, fun fact, this has nothing to do with the conversation, but fun fact, I used to do beauty pageants. And one time I was doing a beauty pageant and I had to give a speech and I said, I want to be an asset to society and not a liability. And so now when people say that, it always takes me back there. But I digress. What would be a better question?
Okay, good. There you go.
But I don't know. I think it's because I saw that one man. It was some viral something, and he was like, "What you bring to the table? Everything you talking about, I can get from Amazon Prime." And I was just like,
yeah. I mean, if he was, let me ask this: was anything that he said false?
No. Everything that she said she brought to the table, he absolutely could get from Amazon Prime. He absolutely could have his meals delivered. He absolutely could have his paper towels delivered. I think it was the tone and the spirit in which he said it, and I think it makes the relationship more transactional. And I believe in there are transactions, right? It is what it is. But I just think that when you put the transaction first, you lose the emotion that's supposed to be involved in the relationship. And maybe that's just my Western upbringing, because there are cultures who get married from a monetary place. But yeah, don't ask me what I'm bringing to the table because I'm gonna walk away. I am the table. Now what?
See, don't, Doc, listen, you one of the most influential people I know. Don't say that. Please do not. Somebody like, yeah, they're gonna agree. I know you playing because we talk on the back end.
I am playing.
I know your husband, and I see the glow he get from his wife and what she provides for him. Listen, you do not represent that. So I want you to. Some young people
don't get y'all man
said,
with me. Don't
Doc
do that.
said, walk out their face. Doc said, whatever. I'm the table, man. You don't mess around and miss a good man because they talking about tables and go stuff about where the chairs and start
better
making
question is, when you're in a relationship, how would you define your role? What do you see your role as when you're in a relationship?
What do you see your role? That's okay, Doc. Now
Isn't
we talking.
That much better.
So y'all think it's a joke. I be writing stuff down. Come on now. And then she be mad because she's like, Erica, I'm not your therapist. You're not finna get no free sessions off of me. And this is real. This is real, y'all. Now, if I look like I'm down and I'm quiet, she'd be like, tell me more about it. No, but she don't, because she ain't gonna let me just go dry now. But I mean, what I'm saying is, y'all take notes is what I'm trying to say. Facebook user says, me and Bobby start, and that's Miss Lynn. She says, me and Bobby started out early. And although our marriage didn't last, our friendship did. I'm a witness to that, y'all. I can attest. See, I've had good examples, even from, right up close and from afar. Like, the more I think about it, man, I'm so favored in that. He says, if he needs me, I'm there, and vice versa. Seen it. And in my broken state, I was like, thought it was crazy and whatnot. And I'm gonna confess something here in a second. Miss Lynn might get me later, but and I can't run no more, so I don't know. I just had to take it. She says, I valued his morals and character at a young age. See, Miss Lynn, yeah.
Miss Lynn she be dropping them bars.
Man, y'all just don't know, man. She an angel, like, for real. And I'll fight anybody about it who want to argue. I'm just saying. Facebook user says, it's multiple questions. It's about the things that each person values. That's true.
I'm with that Facebook user, because I also think you cannot roll up on the first date like, so, hello, my name is LaToya, and what do you bring to the table? That's crazy. Like, have multiple conversations. Ask me about you know, previous relationships and what I think about this and are my parents still together? Like, get to know me and not necessarily what I bring to the table, because then it makes it seem like you just with me for a benefit. And I think that I don't like that.
And I think everybody's there for a benefit, but you know what? Let's go on and say it. You know, any relationships are transactional
They
to
are,
a degree.
but they
They're
need
to
to
a
be
degree.
mutually beneficial.
Absolutely. That's 100% true. And I think and with me, I think quality relationships is when two people are like, if I call it a Vidal Sassoon, that's the type of relationship I will have. And I'm not moving forward on one unless it's established that. Is that if I don't look, if you don't, because this, say again.
Let's get a definition. What is that?
It's called, it's a Vidal Sassoon situation. If you don't look good, I don't look good. And I need you to look at me and say, if he don't look good, I don't look good. Now I ain't talking about looks. If I'm not good, then you not good. And if you not good, I'm not good. And we're gonna work together to make sure we both good.
Okay. Why you call it Vidal Sassoon? Why did I think that was like some shampoo?
Because you're too young. And that's what it was. Vidal Sassoon was a shampoo, and their slogan was, because if you don't look good, we don't look good.
Got it.
Yeah. So my situation is going to be a Vidal Sassoon situation.
It's like, why are we talking about shampoo? I don't understand what's happening here.
Right. A Facebook user says, what do you have on the table? Question mark. Say when you can't get to the table. That's Miss Leah gotta be. You're sick and you used to. Each person should be the table. And versatile enough to be the chairs. Eric, what? No, Miss Lynn, I'm let me go on and tell it, because I know she's gonna be like, what's going on? Miss Lynn, I was hurt. And this is a confession. Ain't nobody gonna know this. When Miss Lynn and Mr. Bobby broke, when they separated, hurt me. I wanted to be mad. Because Mr. Thrasher, I love that man. Okay. He saved my life a couple of times. Once for Miss Lynn herself. That's what he told me, Miss Lynn, because I was in the house, I wasn't supposed to be there. And he said, you lucky it was me that came, because if my wife would have been here, she might have shot you. That's what he told me first time I met him. Anyway, I was hurt, and I wanted to be mad at you, Miss Lynn. I wanted to be mad. I just wanted to place blame. And soon as and I didn't get to say nothing, I said, man, why was she? And that man turned to me and said, watch your mouth. Don't talk about you know how much she love you, and I know you love her. Don't you say nothing. This is something you don't understand. And I learned a valuable lesson, and my respect for him grew more than I can even say. But it was out of hurt. But I did not say anything bad about you, Miss Lynn. I was trying. I was like saying you was wrong. Or he was like, shit. He said, man, watch your mouth. Don't even. It was the biggest lesson I ever learned. I was like, nah, regardless of what individuals do to you. And like Miss Lynn said, she said, I respected his morals and his character at an early age. And they were together a very, very long time. And as I've grown and gotten older, man, at such an early age, people do grow. They do change. And it doesn't mean for the worst, like we say on perspective. Just because things change, it doesn't mean anyone's right or wrong. It just simply means you're different. And that was such a mature way to handle it, instead of to stay there and be contentious with one another. Actually, it's really more of an act of love, is what I've come to learn. So that's why I love both of them, Mr. Thrash and Miss Lynn, to the ends of the time. So that's a confession right there for Miss Lynn. She still may get me, but
no, she didn't.
It's okay. Facebook, you says, I'll fight to stop sign about. Yeah, she'll fight a stop sign about Bobby, but we were better apart, and that's true. That's absolutely. Because they were like parents to me, y'all. I'm gonna give it to y'all raw. I'm gonna give it to you raw. My best pair of clothes and everything. Miss Lynn used to have me fly, and I was like, what's gonna happen now? I was kind of out of selfishness. Whatever. I'm telling you, I went to the prime. I was fly, man. I had the Kente print. I was, man, boom, the best, man. Oh, y'all just don't know. Anyway, yes, she say I am indeed. Indeed. So let's talk about cost. So we didn't hit it up with on the value. So the cost. So I'm gonna make this statement, Doc, definitely clean it up for me. So I'm really we're talking about what are you doing? What are you looking at in a mate? Really defining what value is. And we're challenging you to look at the value. It is not money. I think we've come to that conclusion. Should you have money? Yes. Should you be stable? Yes. Should you be a table, as Miss Lynn said? Yes. You should be tables coming to tables. Yes. So the thing is, we got to talk about tables. You know what I mean? And you may say, well, I got this little casserole, may be the best casserole ever. And the other person may have, the salmon and the turkey and the brisket and all of those things already, but they ain't got no casserole. And that casserole set it off. Matter of fact, let's do this. What if somebody has the table and they got it all set and everything is there? Chairs, napkins, plates, food, drink. Everybody sit down and it ain't no forks and knives. Somebody come with just forks and knives, you just set the whole thing off. You valuable. So I think we need to quit putting so much value on I'm trying to challenge people to look at the value of what could be added. And it doesn't always have to be 2 Maseratis. You know what I'm saying? You can have a Maserati, but you ain't got no gas in it. Somebody could be the gas. So try to look at people in that way and look and recalibrate what you're valuing in someone as you're looking for a mate. But you first need to evaluate yourself, because if you're looking at those surface level themes and not looking at the character, the morals, the principles of the person, and how that can add to your life versus their materialistic things and the things they bring from the outside, looks, they may be able to stand up in it. You know what I'm saying? And some, whatever the case may be, there may be a lot of attraction and chemistry in the bedroom from both sides. So, but outside of those external things, putting value on the things like principles, character, beliefs, morals, I think is huge. So cost, what does it cost you, Doc? So what's the definition of cost?
Off the top of my head,
no,
cost
I'm just putting it out there.
Okay, off the top of my head, cost is like what you pay, what you give up, what you give for something.
Yeah. In financial terms, of course, it's associated with in monetary things. It's what's required. They say it like this: it's what's required, or what's required to acquire goods, services, or assets. Expenses such as the purchase price, the product cost, operating cost, financial outlays,
cost of doing business.
Yeah, opportunity costs, things like that. But from a societal cost, like they talk about the context of what you have to give up to gain something, to put it in simpler terms. And so right now, based on what Doc said, I said, Doc, so what are we valuing things on money? So, and let's keep it 100. Men need to have the money. If he ain't got no money, he don't have no value. Now, I'm going to say this. I would agree. If you have no money, like you cannot sustain yourself at the basic level. And the reason I say that, and this is coming from someone who has been there. And I wouldn't even say I was there for a blip. I was there, and I would say I wasn't gainfully employed. Like I would, I'd make it, but don't nobody want to struggle. Don't nobody want to worry about that from month to month. And that's hard. That's a hard place to be. And I've been there, and I'm gonna tell you, there's nothing worse to a man when he cannot provide for his family. He'll starve. He don't give a damn about himself. He'll kill a chicken out of somebody's backyard and cook it out on the open fire. He'll be good.
That's deep.
But no, I'm serious. But if he has a wife, a woman, and if he has children, and he's not providing for them like the basic needs, it's the closest thing to death, to torture, not even death, because death would be better than being in that position. But it's like torture. It's like being like standing there and watching the worst thing happen to the people you love the most. Any man worth his salt, he would admit that. He'd be like, nah, man, I'll rob, steal, and kill before I get in that position. And that's hard because if you have morals, character, principles, you're like, man, I can't do it. I can't go do that. And I'm confessing right now. I've been in that position. And I mean, I went up as close to the line of breaking the law because I wanted to change them fortunes, but I just couldn't do it, man. The Most High wouldn't allow me to. He wouldn't let me tank myself. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm in a better position now, but it was one of the most important decisions I ever made, because I can stand in front of my children, stand in front of my grandson, stand in front of anybody that's in my face and tell them I ain't do it. Now, this is as a man. And I ain't gonna say I ain't never done nothing wrong. You know, when you're dumb. When you was a child, I thought as a child, acted as a child, but when I became a man, I put childish things away. And that's what I did. And I suffered through it, but I'm better for it. So the cost, now I can tell you about the cost of picking the wrong person. But let me chill, Doc. Did you have some insight on that? You had a feedback or something?
On cost, yeah, I think that we don't think about the cost enough. And then I think sometimes we overestimate the cost. Like I've heard people say, I don't want to be in a relationship because I don't want to give up my independence. What's your independence? Like, what you independently doing? Why is that a thing? Because what you would gain is so much bigger than what you would lose.
Tell me more about that.
Which part?
No, you said
say more about that. No, what? Say you more about what?
Say more about that. No, you said because about gaining, and I know you can speak to this because you've done the gaining. So it's not like, you can say that. Yes, he can say that. So those things that you gain, I ain't telling you to tell your business, but
Never.
in the best way that you can, like the independence, because I think that's a real fear for individuals. Like,
I really feel like they're dating the wrong people. Me and my husband are married, but we still have a level of this is a Toya thing, this is a Jeff thing, right? That's not to say that Toya can't get involved in the Jeff thing, Jeff can't get involved in the Toya thing. It's just to say that on some level, I'm still a person outside of, but also within the confines of being his wife. And so I think people think, well, I'm giving up everything. I think it's because they don't have a really good understanding of what it would mean to be in relationship with someone who's aligned with them. Because if you was going to bingo every Friday when I met you, I don't know that I expect you to stop going to bingo because we're married. Now, do I expect you to stop being bingo partners with Mary? Probably.
Talk about it, Doc.
Do I expect you to just not go? Like, that's crazy.
And I think that's a huge element, and people don't dig into it a little bit more, because if is it a risk? Of course. There's no way to do, there's no easy way to do a hard thing. So you have to do it hard. Yeah. So that's why you need to heal up. You need to get with, LaToya, the therapist, so you can get you some tools to better choose, to better select, and to assess. So you'll have, because there's still going to be risk. There's no way to get it to zero, but you can lower the percentages of it going bad and picking someone who is, and you said something, Doc, someone who is, aligned with you as far as where you're trying to go. I think people don't talk about, but I don't think people have a purpose or or talk about, you said talk about the alignment. What does it look, what do you want your relationship to look like? What do you is bringing to the table, but what contributions can you help support? Like, women don't talk to men about their purpose and what are you trying to achieve? And he may say, I just want to have a happy, healthy family. And I want to,
So that would work for me because I don't like, so like happy healthy seems far away. Bring it closer to me. Happy healthy is vague, it's subjective, and it's different for every person. And so if someone were to tell me I want a happy healthy family, I'm gonna say more about that. What does happy healthy look like for you? What does that mean? Does that mean we eat popcorn on Saturdays? Does that mean we go to the farmers market? Like, what does that mean? Because your definition of happy and my definition of happy could be different. And I think that we're not having these types of conversations. And that's why people are like, I just want to be by myself. Because you're not having these conversations. You get in situations, you're in a relationship, you didn't have any of these conversations prior to, and now you like, oh my gosh, I don't even like him. He don't let me go to bingo on Fridays.
Because they didn't talk about bingo on Fridays.
Right.
And I think that's something that people need to learn, how maybe having the right conversations. We might need to do something like that. We have a dang workshop on a Thursday or something. You know what I'm saying? So Facebook user says, when you say cost, I see it as more of what you pay or give, whether it be what you give physically, mentally, and or financially, the consequences of your choices.
Yep.
Yeah. That was Raquel. Okay, thank you, Raquel.
Let us
you
know.
might have to sign your comments. That's good. That's good. So with that being said, I think we've tied it up, like cost being, what you have to pay to gain, and to Raquel's point, what you give, physically, mentally, financially. So the thing that I think we should value, and I talked about a little bit more, is character. I think character carries more weight. We don't do enough digging. Go ahead. Go ahead, Doc.
Let's define character. You know how I feel about words. Character. It's like qualities of a person, like their moral compass. Is that
yes,
is that a nice
I
definition?
I would say moral and ethic traits. Characters. It's hold on. I got the definition. It is often associated with the moral and ethical qualities that shape a person's actions and decisions, which include virtues such as, honesty, responsible. I don't like the word fair, but for this, I'll use it because people understand fairness, integrity. And it's been described as having another thing that describes character: consistency of behavior. Now, let's say positive behavior.
No, because consistency of negative behavior, it still shows me your character, and people need to pay attention to that. If you consistently lie to me, you're a liar, and I need to either accept that you're a liar and never trust you, or I need to move around.
One definition I came across I liked, it says courage and resilience. Characters is sometimes associated with the qualities of courage and resilience. It involves like the ability to face challenges, overcome obstacles, and maintain one's principles in the face of adversity. And likened to the the sharing that I did earlier, it is why I am the CEO and president of Resilient You. Self-appointed, I dare you. You can come sit down with me. You can't challenge me. I promise. But with that being said, those are the things that kind of build up character. I think being consistent, as we were saying, the toxic consistent, even with, she said, no, it definitely shows your character. Absolutely. And then it's also been described as like your individual identity, the things that make you up, the type of qualities that that encompass your being. And it can be now character. And here's an aspect of character that I wanted to kind of go into. because I think people don't take ownership of their character. It's too many damn sheep, not enough shepherds. Meaning, a lot of people just follow the wave. They follow the flow of the crowd, and without really stopping and saying, "Do I really like that? Do I really agree with that? Is that really sound?" Before they join in and adopt it.
So the thing is, yes, a lot of people do that, but do you know how difficult it is to go against the grain? Not you personally, because you president of Resilient You, but for most people who don't have that thicker skin, who don't have that self-awareness, A, it's difficult to go against the grain, but then B, I don't know that people recognize that they're being sheep. A lot of
Really?
times people think that this is their identity, but if you start talking to them and asking them questions, it's just because grandma said it, mama said it, I said it. Now this is
Man,
what.
excellent point. Excellent point. Mama,
Yeah.
yeah. Doc, I think we talked about this. You heard the story about the mother, her daughter, and the ham.
Mm-mm.
The mother, it was a wife, and she was about to cook a ham, and husband brought the ham, beautiful ham. And we talking about old school, like on this might date. You might not know. You might didn't watch Tom and Jerry, one of the greatest cartoons in history. Cartoon. It had a lot of horrible social things there now, but it was real. And they had that ham that had that little hook on the end. Y'all know that ham. So this type of ham he brought home. So the wife grabs it, unwraps it. Thank you, baby. And the husband standing there, and she chops off that hump on the end of the ham and just throws it away to the side. And he said, he just looked. He said, "Hey, babe, man, why you cut off that piece of the ham and just get rid of it? It looked like it's decent meat." She was like, "Look, hey, I cut the ham off. I'm cooking this ham. This is how we supposed to cook it. If you want that, you like the ham? You enjoy my ham? Then let me cook my ham the way I cook my ham." He say, "My bag, baby. All right, I'm out of here." So she look at him. He walk around the corner. She grabbed the phone, call her mama real quick. Said, "Mama, hey, why do we James just asked me about the ham and cutting the end up off of it and stuff, but why do we cut the end of that ham off?" Because she said, "Because I've always seen you cut the ham that way." And she said, "You cut that ham off?" She said, "Well, I just did it because my pan was always too small." And so this woman cutting this ham off because she could, she can get a pan. Mama didn't have the money to get the pan. She can get a pan big enough for it. You don't even know why you do what you do is the moral of the story. I always find that very, very funny. And I think we get ourselves into trouble. Things change, things evolve. And so what used to work may not be applicable now, even though there are things that are established, but they have shown and proven that they last over they're what I call fundamental or foundational principles and practices that should never change. But there are some that do evolve and do change. And I think when dating, probably a return to some of those principles would be warranted. But I'll let you tell me what you think about that, Doc.
You know how I feel about stuff like that. You got to tell me what the principles are before I'm like, yep, we should go back. I also think we overcomplicate it, and we in some areas, and we don't spend enough time in other areas. So we overcomplicate, like, what you bring to the table, what's this, how can you serve me, how can you help me. We do too much of that, and we don't do enough of asking the right questions. We don't do enough of paying attention to patterns of behavior. We don't do enough of like checking in, like, okay, you said you was gonna call me at 5, it's 10, what's good? This is your pattern. You can't call me until 10. Maybe I'm the side girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that we put too much emphasis on money. What can you do for me? How can you serve me? And not enough emphasis on the things that we really should be paying attention to. And I believe money is important. I come from a house where my daddy pays for everything, and I don't know what my mama do with her money besides spoil her grandchildren. So I do think that money is important. But I think that when you approach it from a, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? What can you do for me? You miss the other things.
Definitely. Mr. J. That's why we tight like that. He loved Tom and Jerry too. Classic. Classic. So I think we had kind of established on the element of character and really what that means. And I would just have a blanket statement. I think that as we're going out into the world and we're assessing individuals, and this can go for friends, this can go for partnerships, and who we're going to connect ourselves to. We really need to dig in onto one understanding the aspects and the characteristics of character. What is good character? What is the type of character we want our mate to have, and put that just as important up there with their ability. If you need someone who can provide, you got to be, because y'all know my philosophy: live in truth, operate in balance, and respect reality. Reality is, if you know you got to have a certain level of something, okay, understand that, but don't sacrifice that. Don't sacrifice the character. And because I believe if you really dig into how important that is and what that could lead to, that it would even drop below money. Now, I ain't saying get nobody broke, but you might. I wish I had that video of the girl that was talking about city workers, um, city workers, Amazon truck drivers, UPS individuals, people that work at warehouses. She was saying that they're not valuable. I hate that word high value, man. That's subjective as well. But she even went after men that may work at a fast food restaurant or a clothing store. And I'm saying, man, if you're making money and you're putting a roof over your children's head, your head, and whatever responsibilities the universe and the Most High has put up under you, you all right with me. There's value in that. And you're not hurting anybody, and you're doing the best that you can. There's some value in that. That the thing is, if you get with a woman, because sometimes it takes a woman's, maybe her creativity, maybe her structure, her organizational skills, and he has tangible skills, and if she can put that into play, then they'll be richer than everybody. I know individuals where the woman runs the business, but he works the business. If that makes sense? Hey, he has plumbing skills or electrical skills, and she went and found the paperwork to get the LLC and to get the contracts, and was able to introduce him to those things, and he's a good man, so he respects her, he respects what she brings to the table, and she ended up finding out, okay, so we rich now and we can hire people to run the company, and all we doing is we didn't build the machine that runs on its own, we making the bread. Who would have thunk it? But if you was always you looking for something else and not looking at the character of the man, and you might miss out. Alexis Butler says definitely. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Doc.
No, I can't read the comments.
Okay, Alexis Butler says definitely bringing this up to my man. Hey y'all, that's my baby bird, everyone. Facebook here just says TV, social media have most people fantasizing what a relationship should be. Great point. We get caught up on what we think works for others as opposed to what truly works for us as individuals. We have to get out of the normal box. I take that. And that's Raquel again. All right, class.
So I want to say this. I agree. I totally agree that TV and social media have us fantasizing. That's why I encourage people to do, like, it's the start of the new year. Everybody's doing their Daniel fast, so they losing weight, blah, 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 whatever they got going. Do a digital fast. Like, unsubscribe from those emails that you're not paying attention to. When you're going through social media, if you feel a twinge of like jealousy or any like sadness, or you like watching something but your face frown, diet so much more than what we eat. It also includes like what we take in. And so I think it's so important that, like, if you don't like something, or if something is making you feel bad about what you have, get rid of it.
Bars. Bars. Talk, Doc. And so Alexis Butler said, well, let me say this. Raquel definitely did a great segue because I was going to ask, like, how did we get the two mixed up? And she said it, TV, social media, and the fantasy and fantasizing about it. And then Alexis Butler says, that's those Instagram broads whose whole personality and mindset was shaped by social media. Shaking my head. All of them are single, thinking this way.
No, for real, for real.
Dead skull at the end of that. If y'all couldn't see it, Lexi says, "I agree. Digital fast, 100%. I like it. Man. When we say digital fast, we're talking about social media, not just you can answer the phone, you can search business aspects and things of that nature, y'all.
And here's the thing, it doesn't even have to be a fast, it can be a cleanse. As you doom scrolling, because you're gonna scroll anyway, if you see something and your heart just like, oh, I wish I could have, I can't have my life, unfollow that person. Stop doing that.
I got
If
you. I
you
got
see
you.
something, I found myself watching something today and I was like, and I happened to like catch a glance of myself in my computer screen because I was watching it on my phone. I know, shouldn't have been doing it. But I was like, oh, if that's got to be my face while I'm watching this, I'm going to go ahead and unfollow this person.
Yeah.
Stop watching. Stop hate watching. Well, I'm just watching because I don't like them and I don't want to talk about them. You're actually giving them views and you're actually making yourself feel bad. Stop.
And you are adding it to your algorithm. That's what social
Yep.
media does. The things that you watch, it's just going to bring up more of those things. It's so many. I mean, that's a part of marketing and advertising. I mean, they are separated. People advertising is billboards. Marketing as a whole is like putting up the poster, putting it on a car, then you see the car, then the car going to a great event and blowing the horn and flashing lights. That's promotion. And then if someone walks up to the car that's well known and they talk about it or laugh about it, that's promotion as well. And all of those combined is really marketing. And that's what social media does a good job of doing that. So you just want to make sure that the right things are being marketed to you. And as Doc said, I would definitely encourage. So as you're trying to evaluate the value of something, to try to mitigate the cost that'll come to you by making the wrong selection. And then also assessing the character that you want in someone that you want first in yourself, and then in someone that you would love to connect your life or align with. I love Doc be bringing the good words, the alignment that you want to have with someone within a relationship. Then
Right.
I think you should be strategic about what you're allowing to come in your mind and influence you. So look up, strong character or strong character content. I guess I'm trying to making up stuff as we go. That will kind of help in that realm. And looking at how, kind of quit going after the low hanging fruit. Quit just fooling with I just want the money, I want the bread, I want the prestige, and really try to look at the depth and the quality of things versus just the surface level of what social media got you thinking that the fantasy of what it should be, and really delve into what you need to find what makes a good relationship for yourself.
Love it.
Doc, you got
I don't
any?
know that I could say it.
I will appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say it any better. Yeah, I'm gonna let you have that. That was good.
All right.
Thank y'all so much for being here with us on this wonderful Thursday evening. We recognize that you could have been anywhere, but you decided to be here with us. Please, please, please like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that perspective is happening and you want to get with us. Okay.
Yeah,
we got one last comment.
All right. Facebook user says, Doc is absolutely right. So I had to delete some people because they were messing with my spirit. And say they had me questioning, was I hating or was it just not for me at this level? Yeah, I feel you on that, class.
No, for real. You don't want that. coming in, messing with your aura. Then you gotta like do all this reflection about why I'm hating. Am I hate? Stop following. Just let them go.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
fine.
I would say that's definitely an act and a mindset of wisdom. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
I
got to
agree with
let
that.
you got to let things go, and you have to be very pointed and strategic about how you want to shape out your life. And like if you don't, it's okay. People, I think some people brag about being single, and I am, and they ain't out there. No, somebody's out there, and if you've had the opportunity and it ain't coming to you, then many times you may be the common denominator, and there may be a recalibration that you need to do. And I think Doc brought up some good some tips to do that, especially on the purging of your social media and digging into the value of things, mitigating the cost, and reevaluating character. So, with that being said, we'll end the show. And we thank you. And as Doc said, share, like, subscribe. And we appreciate everyone's the comments. We have really, really great viewers, always bringing the heat, bringing a lot of wisdom as well. So if you know, birds of a feather flock together. If you know other people like that, we want them on perspective. We want their perspective because when we do that as a community and we talk about our differences, doesn't mean anyone's right or wrong. It simply just shares those differences. We can talk about them. It brings us closer together, and that's what we aim to do here on Perspective. So with that, we thank you and good night.